Morning, y'all. Today we will be talking about thesis statements, paragraphs, and evidence. Creating a thesis statement. Your thesis statement should be a clear, concise sentence that includes your main point, your evidence, and the word because. To think about how we structure this, we have a little chant here that we're going to do together. I'll go through it once, and then I want y'all to join in.
THESIS, this is how you make your thesis best. Make your claim, make it clear, always start your thesis here. Use because to connect your claim to your evidence. This is how you make your thesis best. THESIS.
Now, I want you guys to talk amongst yourselves and find out the different parts of this thesis statement. Highlight where the word because is and why it's effective where it is, where the claim is, and what evidence is being included. Perfect. Now that we have the thesis statement down, we're going to move on to effective paragraphs. So what makes an effective paragraph effective? It should have a key idea, evidence, and it should have an explanation as to how it all supports your main claim. Finally, it should summarize the key ideas of what you're talking about. So here we have an example. Now, I want y'all to take this paragraph and tell me what is making it effective. Does it introduce a key idea? If so, where? Does it provide evidence and an explanation to support it? And does it summarize the key ideas at the end? So now that y'all have looked at the paragraph and talked about it, Zoe, does this paragraph include a main claim?
Yes, the main idea is the first sentence where it talks about her being the key organizer of the strike and the negotiation.
And this makes our paragraph effective because it's introducing a claim, it's telling your reader what they're in for, what they're about to find out, and reinforcing it at the end ties your ideas all together. Adriana, could you point out some of the key evidence that was included in this paragraph?
Some of the key evidence that I found was where, again, she talked about how she was a mother and a woman. And then
It's important for our paragraph because it's key evidences that come from history. They're concrete, they're going to help you really drive your point home because you can show, hey, this really happened and here's when it happened. Emma, did you see what we did with those after?
You backed them up with an explanation. Like in the first time when you said how she was a mother and woman, you explained that during her time, this meant that she had to stay at home and just tend to her family.
And this is important because it's not enough to just throw your evidence out there. You have to tell your reader why it's important. How does it connect to your claim? And what is that telling them about what you're talking about? Supporting your claims with evidence. The evidence in your essay should be directly related to your claim. It should be from literature, experience, current news, or history. When selecting your claim and using it, make sure that it is appropriate and concrete. By appropriate, we mean it directly connects to what you're talking about. And concrete is that it's factual, that you checked it, and that it's correct. Also, avoid using what ifs. That is a way that you know you're coming away from concrete evidence. The what ifs allow for opinions and allow for your audience to question you, which is not what we want in your paragraphs. From evidence. Summarizing an informational text. Here's what you're going to use everything that we just talked about. Summarizing, you should always think about the author's key ideas and the evidence they use to talk about that. So, when we're talking about this, you want to make sure you're looking for their thesis statement and their evidence, separating that from their reasoning because they are different. However, you should also take that into consideration. You should think about how he relates his evidence and why he does it. Remember, you're trying to inform your reader about what the author is saying. So think about the key topics that really drove it home for you. What was important? What did you understand? What did you gain from the piece?
So if we are showing what we gained from the piece, can we talk about like how it made us react to it?
Not necessarily. So when you're summarizing an informational text, you really want to pull away from that. You're focusing on the facts. What is it really saying? It's different from when you talk about how your evidence relates, because although that might seem a little opinionated, it's more of a detailed description of how and why. So you're still very much sticking to your facts and your evidence. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now that we've covered all of the material today, y'all are gonna try summarizing an informational